collection calls even eliminate your student loan payment. If you can't afford your student loans, or if you're past due and you need help, you must call right now. We will restructure your loan or your money back, and that's a guarantee. So call the Student Loan Hotline right now. 800-949-8707. 800-949-8707. 800-949-8707. 800-949-8707.
Welcome to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank. We'll be joined with Oklahoma Brian, my co-host. We just started a whole nother week. Got a whole weekend behind us, and there's a lot of wild and wacky things. And I know my co-host over here, Brian, he's got that $25 Oklahoma smile on his face right now when you walk into the dentist and you want your teeth cleaned for $25 because he went 4-1 on the contest. So he's got chirping chips. I went 3-2. But you guys, we are on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio Network, and also you can find us on Facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. Guys, Brian, how was your weekend? I know Wong was in the house.
It was a very long weekend.
He certainly was, baby. I mean, let's recap all the strong Wong games. They were green.
I don't know if we'll have enough time before the commercial, but I'll give it my best. You know what? They were all good. We only lost on 2 games that I like to call Wong Juniors. Right. Wong Juniors are games where we won the game up from 3-9. And, those were the Giants, which looked like it was going to cover the Wong, and Tampa, which never looked like it had a chance. That was dead in the first 5 minutes of the game. So everything else, smooth sailing. We could talk about that after the break. But, man, the NFL – backdoor covers are becoming easier and easier, and it really is changing the way we bet the NFL. And
we were
everyone's got to get on board.
We were just talking about that with these 4 downs that you're getting them. It's going to be unstoppable on a lot of these drives, you know.
Yeah, it really is true.
Really is. But guys, we were really strong with our Green Bay, Jacksonville, take Cleveland up. It was another real strong Wong weekend. When we come back, we're going to have a nice show. We had a very good weekend. I went 3-2. Brian went 4-1. So we're both still way over 500 in case Jimbo Mullins or Billy Donnellan are sitting there saying that we're not going to hit over 500. You guys, I think you should, stop going to buy the dispensary so much. You got 2 really two good handicappers here. So we're going to get ready to take a break. We'll be right back. We got a great show for you. Frank, Brian, Fifth Street Sports. We'll be back real shortly.
Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All Original Protectant. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and pick up a bottle of Armor All Original Protectant for $5.99. Renew, revitalize, and protect your vehicle with Armor All Original Protectant. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's time to find adventure on every drive. With Pennzoil Synthetics, you get complete protection for top engine performance. And between October 1st and November 30th, you'll get travel rewards to help you on your journey. With the purchase of any Pennzoil specialty motor oil change, you can earn up to $100 in travel reward credit. Save on hotels, rental cars, and activities. Visit Pennzoil.com/travel-on to find participating locations. Pennzoil, make the switch. Travel on. Offer ends 11/30. Terms apply. Full details at Pennzoil.com/travel-on.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
Welcome back to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank, and we're joined here on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network, also by the American Forces Network. We always want to say to you guys thank you and hello, and we sure hope we put on a good show for you and make you guys think about something good for an hour. I know you guys do a great job and you're out there. Also, today's October 1st, and this is my 55th year here in Las Vegas. This is my city that I love, my city, and it's a very bad, ugly reminder for us. But I just wanted to say to the people that I pray, and today I prayed extra hard that may God comfort our city and all the people directly involved. It was an ugly thing a year ago, and hopefully we're all getting past it. And I know that my city suffered. Thank God we had a lot of positives after that, and we stayed together. But anyways, we'll go back to Brian. It was a wild and wacky weekend. Tell us about some of these backdoor covers that I know they got you a little bit frustrated on Sunday.
Well, most of them were pretty good for me, to be honest. I know it had to be frustrating as a bookmaker to see so many games landing on the number. It started off bad on Thursday night, and for a lot of bookmakers, and continued throughout Sunday. The games, I guess, that stand out in my mind would be the Raiders game, which had no business finishing the way that it did. Raiders were, I was actually very lucky on that game. They had no business winning the game. Seattle game landing on 3, with the Cowboys game landing on 2. It was, I'm probably missing a few, but, the thing that keeps coming to mind, if you remember, not before this season, but before the last, when they decided they were going to redo the overtime rules and shorten overtime from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. I know a lot of us were anticipating that, we would see a lot of tie games, because historically games had been won in that period between the 10th and 15th minute of overtimes. And, we've already seen 2 overtimes this year. We almost had 2 more yesterday. I think you got to start factoring in the tie as a real possibility when you handicap these games. I suspect we're going to see 4 to 5 more ties this year. And yes, certainly if you're teasing a game from 7 down to 1, that's going to be a bad beat. It'll probably come into play 1 or 2 times this year. I guess the one guy that doesn't want to see ties is that Indianapolis coach, Frank Reich. Is it Frank Reich? I think that's the coach. Man, did you see how that game ended?
Yeah, 24 seconds, Andrew back. But then the coach says, we didn't come here to play for a tie. I said, well, but maybe you should have when there was 24 seconds left,
4th and 4. Deep on your own side of the field. Man, that was gutsy. Although I can see from his standpoint, we kind of saw it. The best example of it was the Philadelphia 76ers and their GM that really had it right, but he was shown the door that the way to get ahead in sports is to win or to lose badly. To fall
Right.
to the bottom of the table and get a good draft pick, or to make the playoffs. And that team was 1-2 at that point, and they take the tie. They go 1-2-1. Their season is essentially over. So I kind of I can't say that I disagree with it. I think I would have gone for it also. I'm not sure I would have used the same play, but I would have gone for it.
Well, these guys are terrible. I mean, I don't know. I think a tie right there. Just look to another game. But if there can be some bad plays made, how about that coaching on the Steelers sideline again? That guy never surprises me. Never surprises me.
And he's such a nice guy, and he's a great players coach. The Rooney family loves him. The players love him, but he is an absolute moron when it comes to
Yes, he is.
decisions that he makes. And, like, for example, if you watch Bill Belichick, when he has to use a challenge, right, when he has to throw the red flag on,
Yeah.
he's very calculated. He goes and he stands on the field. He has the referee come over to him. He's obviously stalling to give his guys upstairs a chance to rewatch the tape. And like it almost should be against the rules what he's doing, but it's brilliant because he basically buys himself an extra 20 seconds, and then at the last possible second he reaches into his sock and he calmly takes that challenge flag and just drops it right in front of the referee. With Tomlin, it's almost like a knee-jerk anger decision. Like, I'm mad, I don't like the result of the play, and I'm going to fire the challenge flag like instantly. And
Terrible.
it kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week. Like, this is beyond his pay grade. He should not be entrusted with the decision of throwing that flag, because they could have used it. There was a play later in the game where Flacco fumbled a ball and he didn't have a challenge to use because he had already burned up his challenges. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. Hey, speaking of bad, go ahead.
Go ahead. Speaking of bad beats.
Well, I was gonna say, bad beats and bad play calls. Two games come to mind. The ending of the Penn State game. Did you see how that ended?
Yeah, we were walking through the casino at that time when it was 27-26. I wasn't exactly sure. How did that one end up?
So Penn State's got, by far the best player on the field, and their quarterback, McSorley, and they're moving the ball, but they get stalled. They have a 4th and 5 or 4th and 6, and they actually end up using 2 timeouts before this play call. They come back, they run a play, and it was the most mystifying play. It was essentially a handoff, just right up the middle, or maybe just off the left tackle, that has absolutely no chance to succeed. I don't know how they came up with that, but that was a heck of a way to lose. But yeah, he didn't do anything. Maybe he thought he had caught them in a vulnerable defense that he could exploit. That was a weird one, but nothing like the end. This one actually hurt me pretty bad. The end of the Louisville Florida State game was one for the ages.
Yeah, there's another coach that took victory that took defeat out of the jaws of victory, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I can take away from that is I really believe Florida State is maybe the biggest fraud among big time college football teams. There's going to be so much value betting against them the rest of the year, and maybe we get a little bit better line value. I can tell you right now, I already like Miami minus the 12.5, or I think it's 12.5 against Florida State. Hopefully, we get a little bit of line value in Florida State that we can bet against them. But that was a loss that had no business being a loss.
Nothing. I mean, there it is. You're trying to run out the clock. The guy goes back to another one. It wasn't. I would like the Stanford one. I would have graded the week before against Oregon. I would have graded that as a 100 on a level 1 to 100. 100 being the biggest bone play you can make because you had it won. This one, I would have rated about a 96, 97. But once again, it's like, what are these guys doing? Who hires these guys, these coaches, to make plays like that?
Yeah, or why not hire someone to help them when it comes to? I can't really question the play calling in the Penn State. That was just it was a goofy play to call, but maybe If it works, he's a genius. But the mismanagement of timeouts and not knowing when you can take a knee, how to maximize your winning percent, that's inexcusable. And veteran coach can't get that right. And that was frustrating. Hey, did you get a chance to watch the Ryder Cup this weekend?
No, I didn't get it. I was so involved with the football and everything. I know.
Yeah.
I see you got that chirp on your face because you stole money. You bet Europe as usual. You stole money. The U.S. goes down, and look at it like this. Like you feel like right now, like you got a handful of coupons at Chuck E. Cheese, and you're a 9-year-old. You're proud of you. You're proud of yourself, right?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, got a nice line and took advantage of it, and actually bet them repeatedly overnight on Friday night and Saturday night. So a lot of fun.
Very, very, very nice. Hey, when we come, right? Gosh, we got to go to a break in about 20 or 30 seconds. I was going to ask you about the beer thing in Oklahoma. I was reading about that.
Oh yeah.
So when we come back, I'm going to ask you a few things so we can get started on that. And also, I just got a note that I really want to talk about. Well, when we're going to see you here in about maybe 3 minutes. This is Oklahoma. I'm Frank Perez with Oklahoma Brian. We'll be back in 3 minutes. 5th Street Sports.
You're clear.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to use
Sounds good today, guys.
PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Pedro Fernandez here. You might know me as the host of Ring Talk Live Worldwide, but this time I'm here to talk about that 4-letter word everybody dreads, pain. If you have back pain or knee pain like I do, hey, you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. I'm talking about if Medicare is your primary medical insurance, and guess what? You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge. Anything to help me with the pain, hey, it makes it more manageable, gets my attention, folks. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for your back, ankle, knee, or shoulder, guess what? Give the Health Alert Hotline a call, toll-free, 1-800-428-1570, 1-800-428-1570. You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge, 1-800-428-1570, the Health Alert Hotline, 1-800-428-1570.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. That's 800-535-7789.
Welcome back to 5th Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez. We're joined at Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network. I'm also joined with my co-host, Mr. Oklahoma Brian. By the way, you can find us on Facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. Also, one thing I keep wanting to mention is we have launched our Fifth Street Advantage. That's if you go to our website at fifthstreetsports.com, you'll see the Fifth Street Advantage. Remember now, we are not a tout service. This is a service. We are a sports betting equity service, okay? We will grind out profits for the year, hopefully, as we do our best we can. You'll get our top stuff, but we're not touts because, Brian, one of the models that we have in our thing, and I'm sure you're very well aware of it, as far as like touts, these people that are always claiming 80%. And touts to me, Brian, and I know for sure they're like diapers, okay? They should be changed often and for the same reason. All right, that's exactly what we think about touts. We're not a tout service. But get the Fifth Street Advantage. Right now, we partnered up with Sports Insight, so we can throw in a really nice line service, and that's at Fifth Street Sports. But Brian, we actually went pretty big with this whole marketing on Fifth Street Sports, the Advantage thing here, starting today. Well,
I got to get this right. I want to make sure I preserve the company byline. We are a sports betting equity service. I like that.
Yes, sir. We're not a tout service. We are like the we grind, and now we have our NBA, NHL, baseball playoffs. There's not too much value in that. NFL, college. We're going to have everything coming up here now at the right time. It's the perfect time to get on with us. We're going to give you a lot of games that we have equity, that we feel there's equity on each side. But there's one thing, Brian, I really wanted to mention when these releases come out, these picks, even some of the stuff we give out here, which is just as good. I loved your way of saying when we release a game at minus, let's say 4, and the game goes to 6, especially in college basketball, forget that. It's so tempting to say like, oh, the game came out at 4 and now it's 5.5 because I didn't act on it, but I can buy it down to the 4 and lay $1.39 or $1.44. How big a no-no is that, Brian, for all of our customers?
Well, that's a great point. You really have to ask yourself, and it's a fair answer. If you choose to disagree, that's fine, but just make sure you know what you're doing. You have to ask yourself, am I trying to make money or am I trying to have entertainment? And it can be a little bit of both, but you can't make money betting somebody else's plays if the games have already moved. So if this service or any other service gives you a number, and by the time you react, that number's moved a point, the last thing you want to do is try to buy a full point or even a half point. That's no good. I can even argue.
Some sports, right?
Yeah, well, actually, we'll get into the NBA preseason, and we'll talk about that maybe towards the end of the show. There's a sport where you can lay a bad number, but I certainly wouldn't encourage you to don't buy the half point to get onto the same number as the person that you're following. Just lay the next number. Yeah, there's certainly are sports where you can lay a chunky number and get by. The WNBA is like that. Certainly the NBA preseason. There's a lot of sports where the games don't necessarily land on the number.
But college basketball, they land on the number a lot. But let's just do the math here. Okay, Brian, with our service, and it's hard. Lines are tough to beat. With our service, we're trying to hit realistically between 56 and 59%, which is very, very good.
That's really good.
Yeah, because we're going to have a lot of plays. So now imagine we release a game, let's say college basketball, Harvard -6 at -110, and it goes to a strong 7. So now for you to get it back down all the way down to the release line of 6, it's going to cost you like $1.37. That extra 27 cents that's going to lose just a little bit less than half the time because we liked it at -6. It's going to lose about maybe 43% of the time. That extra, all the equity's gone. That extra 27 cents that you're going to split halfway. If you're on Fifth Street, if you get the Fifth Street Advantage, or you're listening to the show and Brian and I recommend, or we give out great releases. Folks, if they moved past especially crucial numbers, or maybe 25 cents on a money line or 20 cents on a tennis, anything like just pass. There's going to be a lot of games. We don't have a needle here. We're an information profit service. So if the equity's gone, let's move on to the next game. There's going to be plenty of them. Don't worry
That's
about
right.
missing it. But
Sure. Yeah, especially if it's a high volume market where we know it's an efficient market like the NBA, or
right.
if it's a lower total, right? You're definitely going to want to avoid trying to chase bad numbers in those sports. Hey, I heard you tease us with it before the commercial, Frank. I know October 1st, a very somber day in Las Vegas, and we certainly share our thoughts with all of the victims and all of the residents of Las Vegas. But on a brighter side, October 1st is also something pretty special in Oklahoma. Guess what?
Isn't it beer day?
It's beer day. Yeah. We have, as a state, we've endured a really hard week over the last week. We've basically been a state without beer now for almost a week. We had some of the most arcane alcohol laws in the country, and we actually voted on them 2 years ago in 2016, November of 2016. We voted to change the state constitution, which basically allowed real beer to be sold in grocery stores and convenience stores, and also wine. And at the same time, it allowed liquor stores to sell refrigerated beer. But what ended up happening was the distributors and the wholesalers put a lot of pressure on stores to liquidate their inventory so they could have room to bring in this new product. So there was kind of like they stopped producing beer, at least the old 3.2 variety of beer, about a month ago. And every retail store in the state kind of had a fire sale of sorts. Mm-hmm. So the result was, starting about a week ago, there was no beer in any convenience store or grocery stores. Now, liquor stores still had a little bit of beer, but even there was a big run, kind of a aftershock run on the liquor stores. So right. It was extremely difficult to find beer anywhere in the state. And so at midnight last night, our laws changed, and today's beer day in Oklahoma. Boy. So as soon as we finish the show, I'm going to go to Trader Joe's and see what I've been missing.
Wow. How much do you think, if you did the math on that lukewarm, hypocritical law that they've kept on the books for so long, to sit there and sell half beer or this beer, or not on this day, not on that day, instead of just saying it's legal in the country, let's do it. Prohibition ended in 33 Prohibition ended? Prohibition, that was one of the worst, Harrison Act, that was one of the worst things in the world. To sit there and just say, let's do this thing half-assed, lukewarm. How much revenue do you think that's cost the state in the last 50 years, I'd say?
Well, that's interesting. A lot of economists have debated it both ways. It certainly was a money maker for the big beer distributors, because they had a unique skill. They could make 3.2 beer, whereas a lot of the smaller brands and micro brands couldn't produce this 3.2 product that was the only product that could be sold in stores. But what really kind of won the argument at the end of the day was a argument that it was becoming an impediment to urban development, to kind of developing the downtown cities, that you can't really develop a downtown city without having people live there. You can't have people live there without having a grocery store, and the grocery stores didn't want to come into the downtowns unless they had the ability to sell full point beer and wine. So, yeah.
Now, speaking of bad deals, here's another one for you. One of our residents here, Chris, he's on. You can get him at Las Vegas Chris. He always comes out with really, really good, deep, relevant, current information. Brian, I got a thing that this DraftKings has just taken on Johnny Avello, and I think they took on Frank K and Shay. Shay from the Hard Rock. They've drafted 3 of our sportsbook managers here in Las Vegas. One from the Wynn, one from the Hard Rock, and one from Caesars. These guys are getting $900,000 to $1 million a year from DraftKings for this big legalized sports stuff. They act like they drafted somebody. These guys were in suit and ties in Las Vegas. They didn't even, laziest things in the world, didn't even know how to take a bet. They act like they really knew what they were doing. They act like they knew what they were doing. If they knew what they were doing, they would allow you to bet as much as Pinnacle and Chris and move their lines and everything. So this DraftKings thinks that because they got like, oh, Johnny Avello from the Wynn or whatchamacallit from Caesars, that they actually got somebody. They got nothing. They got like right now, imagine you were in Chinatown and you had 3,000 Vietnamese players shipping it at you, all completely square. And you were sitting there at the top of the thing all like, oh, you know, like you knew what you were doing. But you had these 3,000 squares. They would say, oh, you got to hire Brian. He knows what he's doing. He makes a lot of money. No, you never got tested. These guys are not tested over here. This DraftKings, they would have been better off hiring somebody from Bet Phoenix or Five Dimes.
Oklahoma Brian.
Or Brian. But I'm telling you,
I'm available to be drafted, by the way.
You overpaid for a name for guys that really don't know, that are absolute cookie-cutting vanilla guys in suit and ties, taking $1.10 in cash from drunken tourists in Las Vegas. You got nothing. You got robbed again. But
totally agree.
It really is. Oh, look at this. We got 900 was for the three of them. Oh, excuse me. Correct me if I just corrected. 900 was for the three of them. Well, then maybe 300.
It's still not worth it.
Still not worth it, but it's not as gross. Okay, thanks. I got corrected. Chris, sorry, I read the text wrong. Anyways, you guys, Fifth Street Sports, Frank Perez, Oklahoma Brian will be back shortly.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Guys, welcome back to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez, joined with my co-host Oklahoma Brian. We're on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio Network. I think tomorrow we launch the whole nationwide radio thing with our new promo ads for the Fifth Street Advantage. Fifth Street Advantage, you're going to get all of us in here. We got Brian, Rick, Chris, Mikey, Frank, all of our best stuff that we all put together is going to be in the Fifth Street Advantage. We'll send it to you via email or text. I think it's top of the line, profitable, a very profitable service. We're not sitting here like, big hustling touts. You will hopefully you make money. We do real good. We bet a lot of sports and you get a lot of good plays. But Brian, tonight, you got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. The line's 3.5. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, as a fan, I'm fascinated by this game. As a fan, I really want to see what, if this Kansas City team can win in a hostile environment like this on the road on Monday night.
Yeah.
I know they had the win at Pittsburgh. That was a good quality win, but I feel like this is going to be a real test for Kansas City, and we'll know a little bit more about them at the end of tonight. I kind of suspect they might lose, but as of now, I have no action on the game except for the under. I went under 55 a few days ago, and looks like it's 53.5 now. So, tough one. I don't know. What do you think about the game?
I like it. I'm going to go with one of my favorite plays, and that's the home dog, especially on Monday Night Football. And a home dog with the winning team in their division is one of the strongest trends or plays. But, I'm not into the so much trendier playing. Hey, hang on a second here. Jimbo Mullins. Oh, wait. But I'm going to tell you about this Jimbo Mullins just right then. I had a very good week, but never got around posting my plays. I'm on Denver +4 and under 55. Jimbo, our thoughts exactly. Brian's on under 55. I'm going to be on the +4. I'm even going to take him on the money line. Because if you notice, Kansas City won in these aerial shootouts. Like at Pittsburgh, the old 42-37. These big, I believe this Denver environment, especially on Monday night with they're not that horrible on defense. I think Denver wins this thing outright. I'm going to take the +4. Why not? But I'm going to take some money line on Denver. You like the under. I think a hostile environment with a pretty decent defense in Denver should be able to shut this Kansas City team down. Everybody always looks at the finals and at the aerials, but Brian, we know what happens when a good defense steps up, right?
That's true. The thing that I'm really interested in about this game, so Kansas City is going to be playing at altitude, right? Mile High Stadium, or whatever it's called these days. Have you looked ahead at the schedule, Frank? There's a pretty interesting game that's also going to be played at altitude on November 19th. I believe I have the date right. November 19th in Mexico this year. Have you looked ahead at that game?
I was looking somewhat at it because I know those Mexican games are real tricky in that altitude. What's your take on
Yeah,
it?
they are tricky, but so they're tricky, but they're usually not a great game like this. The NFL doesn't try to stick the Mexico or the London games with a bad game, but they don't necessarily give them the best game of the year. This might be the best game of the year. This could be a preview of the Super Bowl. The matchup is November 19th, and I'm going by memory. I think that's the date, but if it's not, I'm within a day or two. It's going to be Kansas City playing the LA Rams in Mexico.
Wow.
Can you imagine a better game? And now, the other thing is, this game in Mexico, we talk about Denver as being high altitude. Denver's, 5,280 feet. Mexico City is close between 8,000 and 9,000 feet. It might even be higher than that. I think it's around 9,000 feet elevation. So significantly higher elevation beyond the beyond the physiological considerations of playing at that kind of altitude. From a physics and sports standpoint, it really is interesting. We see it in soccer. The Mexican national team, when they play at altitude like that, you rarely see them passing the ball in the air. They try to keep the ball on the ground because the ball really sails on you at altitude like that. And the same thing is true in football. I know Andrew, our director there on site, he played soccer, I believe, in Colorado at altitude. I'm curious what if he has a similar view of elevation and
Right.
and you know, and I think it's this game for Kansas City will be a real look ahead. How does Mahomes, you know, handle the elevation? Of course, he played at Texas Tech, which is about 3,000 feet elevation, so a little bit higher than people realize. But this will be an interesting look ahead for the Chiefs to see how they handle the elevation going into that incredible matchup against the Rams in 6 weeks.
Yeah. So so what you get from the two of us here is we like Denver plus the points and under. Now, Brian, in an 8,000 altitude like Mexico City, geez, what do you think is the field goal range over there? Like, do you believe that like a 70-yarder, 68-yarder would be possible at that altitude?
Absolutely possible. I don't know how short.
Brian, did you see what Billy Donald just wrote? And he goes, I went 1-2 on my picks, only got Syracuse right. Glad I have OB big on my prop against Frank. Oh, really, Billy? What you went 4-1, I went 3-2, so you got a 1-game lead? Billy, strap in, baby. Strap in,
Frank,
it's a long year.
I didn't just go 4-1. I went 4-1 with the hand tied behind my back. I beat you exclusively with chalk. I told you I was going to only bet favorites.
Yeah, and now
to make it more
the
challenging.
first game you mentioned was Miami. So I hope you become a slasher, because if you become a chalk bettor with all those slashes and everything, good luck, brother. At the end of the year, you're going to look back. Remember, the tortoise won. The tortoise won. So okay.
I like that play. I don't know, though. I might challenge myself. I might only bet on left-handed quarterbacks this week.
Left-handed quarterbacks?
I might. I'm just saying. I need something. I need to make this competition a little more challenging. I feel like I have to add an extra wrinkle to it. You know, so we'll see.
Very nice. Well, you did now. So far, you have won the first head-to-head matchup. You had Washington against my BYU. So you're 1-0 in direct heads-up opposition.
Yeah.
But it's a long year. You got a 1-game lead. I plan on catching up or passing you this week. I got some really good stuff, and I sure hope you start laying those prices again, because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen, baby. Oh gosh, it's you know, the other thing I was going to ask you, Brian, is in this Ryder Cup that you took Europe. Okay. I mean, did you take it just for the price, or you were actually felt it?
Well, it was a really nice course set up for the Europeans. They had really tight fairways, which favors their skill set. But no, I'm not going to try to, you know, I know a lot of handicappers give you these long, elaborate write-ups to justify their plays when it's oftentimes they've already made the play and they're writing the write-up afterwards. I'll tell you, in this case, it was all about price. I got a phenomenal price on Europe, and that's really... You know, that's all there was, and it's the same way every year. There's always a great price taking Europe. If you can find a American-facing bookmaker that has 80-90% of their customers betting the USA, they're going to give you a discount if you want to take the other side. You know, some of my favorite memories in Las Vegas, if you remember back, it's probably been about 2 years since this ended, but from about 2013 to 2016. At Canner, when somebody would make like $100,000 bet on something, remember the prices that Canner would give you to take the other side? It was just it was a fire sale, and the same thing kind of happens with the Ryder Cup every 2 years when they play it.
And you told everybody about it early, so they were able to get on it. But you know, an interesting thing that happened to me in Vegas, and I don't know. Yeah, last night, Chris and I, we got alerted that we had points, because you get certain comps and stuff available to you in sportsbooks for making wagers. So they're added comp dollars where you can eat. Well, last night we got alerted right on the last day that at Westgate, if you did not use your sportsbook dollar comps, they expired at midnight yesterday. So we had to,
I heard about that.
It was ridiculous. So now, I mean, we don't get it. So they just take your points, they can just rob you. So we had to run down there last night with the couples and do the whole thing and just go to Benihana's and just try to blow off as much money as we could. So we're drinking all these umbrella drinks, ordering extra lobster tails, everything else, just to go through all this money, or else it was gone at midnight. I wish you would have been here. But
you know what? If I had known, I would have come. You should have stopped by the homeless shelter and just filled everybody into your car, taking them to the Benihana.
Yeah. We did all that we could, and then my partner Chris, he gets there's just countless amount of times he goes in there. They wipe out 500 from this place, 400 from this place. It's getting ridiculous how they can just completely rob you like that out here. I mean, Vegas, come on, shame on you. I've been here a long time. The old days, they didn't do that. I know you're being corporate and you're trying to get sleazy on these people, but to wipe out their earned points is getting a little bit out there. You're already charging for parking. That's not working out. You're already charging these resort fees, ridiculous. Chris just mentioned it to me the other day how much the revenue's down on the Strip, 12% last month, 7% on the other one. The revenue's going way down. Come on, charging for parking, bull crap resort fees, now stealing your comps, doing all kinds of really deceitful tier system things. Come on already, it's enough.
So the charging for parking has been going on for about a year now, right?
Yeah, it is. Ridiculous.
And I assume the downtown's never going to charge for parking because they're just happy for anyone to show up.
No, but,
right?
but downtown is doing great, though. Downtown is
really,
I
was going to say.
Because they kept renovating it. I mean, sometimes you got to park on the street and pay for the little meters and that, but there's a lot of sports books really accessible to you down there. I go down there because you got Coast and William Hill, Stations. We have Golden Nugget. Yeah, a lot of books right in that little area, and you might have to put like 50 cents in the meter or $1, but they don't rob you like Park Valet, $25. Vegas is getting a little greedy. You know what I mean? You're getting greedy, and you're going to end up needy. That's the old saying here. No, but seriously, so Brian, this week, we got nothing.
Yeah,
from
I got some good
America's
things
Worst
for the rest. I got a couple of topics for tomorrow I want to get into. The NBA preseason kicked off this weekend. We haven't really discussed it, but tomorrow we're going to get into the NBA preseason, talk about how we approach betting the NBA preseason. It kind of is its own unique sport. A lot of people look down on the NBA preseason like you're somehow a hardcore degenerate gambler if you want to bet the NBA preseason. I couldn't disagree more. I think betting preseason is one of the best opportunities.
Absolutely.
And it's all about information. And it's harder for a bookmaker to make a sharp number on a exhibition game like that. The NHL preseason is just wrapping up, and we'll kind of reflect on what we've learned about the NHL preseason and speculate on the NHL regular season. Talk a little bit about betting the NHL. It's kind of a forgotten about sport, and somewhat. I don't think it gets nearly the attention from betting media that other sports do. But there's certainly some great opportunities in betting the NHL, and we'll continue. Last week we talked about turnover margin. I have another statistical theme that I want to bring out this week that will help you become a better handicapper. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
By the way, speaking of NHL, Brian, we have a great on the Fifth Street Advantage. We have a great hockey specialist. This guy's great in hockey. We get all his plays. We steal half of them, but we get most of them. Great NHL guy. It's a great time to get Fifth Street Advantage. We got all the sports coming up, and we have certain segments for each one of them that are fabulous. We got guys in every department. But guys, I'm Frank, Oklahoma Brian, Fifth Street Sports. We'll be back shortly.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Guys, welcome back to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank, joined by Oklahoma Brian. Well, we're almost wrapping up our show today. We got the game tonight, Kansas City at Denver. We're going with Denver and under, plus 3.5, under 55. I don't think you can get to 55 anymore. It's 53.5. I don't even think you can get to 4. It should be down to 3.5. We're taking the dog and under on Monday night. Usually it's a fabulous play for us. Tomorrow, Brian has got a couple of really good topics that we're going to work on tonight. I think you're going to enjoy the show. Brian, give them just a little bit of a little teaser snippet here on one of your little things that you're going to share tomorrow.
Well, we'll talk about betting the NBA and how you approach it differently than betting the preseason NBA. We'll talk about a bet called a pleaser, which is a bet that is the opposite of a teaser, and it's really, for the most part, one of the worst bets you could ever make, with the exception of preseason NBA. It might be the only time on your gambling calendar that you can use it. Hey, I was curious, Frank, with that Johnny Avello going to the DraftKings? Avello going to did Fifth Street put in an offer on him? Did we get outbid or what?
You mean for Johnny Avello?
Yeah. So do we make him an offer?
He couldn't make our junior varsity team here. This guy, no, I'm serious. Meanwhile, he has a suit and tie, and they're going out to they're going out there like these big high-priced Las Vegas odds makers, right? He couldn't make. I don't think he can make the cut. I don't think he can make AA ball at Fifth Street Sports.
It's funny because every time I'm in town, I always laugh at these guys in the fancy Italian suits. You ask them, how much could I bet? They say, how much do you want to bet? And then when you tell them, you're like,
they call security. I know.
Yeah, exactly. I need to see your ID, sir.
It's not like the old days. The old days here with, especially the guy over at Little Caesars. God, Gene Mayday, that guy it was a dump, a real crap in the whole book, nothing. This guy, I'll never forget, I'm standing behind a Texan, he says, can I bet $44,000 on this Dallas Redskins game? He said, just put it in the square, Sonny. There was a little outline of a square. Those were real bookmakers, and hand wrote it, $44,000, here you go. Now, you bet $4,000, they call security. Guys, it's been a great show, American Forces Network. Thank you for listening, hope we made it better. Frank Perez, Oklahoma Brian, signing off, Fifth Street Sports. Have a great day.
Nice show, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.
USA Radio News.
Today,